Good morning, our respected today's resource person, Dr. S. Vishwanath Raj Garu, Professor and Vice Principal of Computer Science Engineering Department, JNTU College of Engineering, Jagityala, and our dear participants and my colleagues. I welcome you all for the 1 week online national level faculty development program on outcome based education. Today is day 3. So in this regard, now I will be introducing today's speaker and resource person, Dr. S. Vishwanath Raj Garu. We welcome you, sir. Dr. S. Vishwanath Raj Garu is a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering who has 24 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration. From December 2016 to till date, he is serving as Vice Principal, JNTUH CEJ, Jagityala. He has served as Director, MCA, GREET from 2008 to July 2010. From April 2012 to 2015, he served as Head of the Department of CSE, JNTU, Hyderabad College of Engineering, Jagityala. He obtained his MTech from JNTU, Hyderabad, and PhD from Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur. He is certified CMI in Education Leadership and Program Management, which is sponsored by MHRD, AICTE, and UK IERI, Dudley College, London. He has been honored with State Best Teacher Award 2020 from the Government of Telangana, Best Computer Science Engineering Award from IST Andhra Pradesh. For the year 2014, Certification of Appreciation Award in Independence Day celebrations from Honorable District Collector Jagityala 2019, and Best Citizen of India, etc. His research interests include programming methodologies, machine learning, algorithms, biometrics, and quality in higher education are globally recognized. He filed 10 Indian patents deriving from his research and relevant to educational institutes. His research contributions are not only confined to his subject area but also extend to other related domains arising out of the new education systems. Assessment and accreditation and their impact on higher education system, higher education. To add impetus to the academic credentials, he has undergone training as well as speaker for the Quality Improvement in Education at NITTR, WOSA 2012, World Summit on Accreditation 2012, as well as WOSA 2014, TCS, Infosys, and NBA NAC. He guided 11 PhDs and 5 PhD scholars are pursuing under him. He is life member of ISTE, IETE, Computer Society of India, and ISSIT. He has 120 plus research publications in reputed international national journals such as Scopus, SCI, Springer, etc., and various conferences. He has authored 4 books, 11 book chapters, and implementing 2 AICTE sponsored research projects, 1 techie project, and 1 fellowship from Telangana State and ST. He has been a number of several governmental committees from AICTE, NBA, NAC, and keynote addresses on various technical topics as well as outcome-based education, NBA, NAC accreditation process in the country and outside India. He has organized several workshops, seminars, tutorials, and conferences. He has visited Singapore and Taiwan and interacted with several academicians and researchers. We are happy to have you, sir. Now I request Garu to please take over the session, sir. Sir,
Yes.
before that, I would like to one point to all the participants that I request all the participants, we are going to post the attendance link in the mid of the session while the session is going on. I request all of you to fill the attendance link before 1 p.m. After 1 p.m., the attendance link will be expired. I request all the participants who are going for the online YouTube live stream, as well as who have joined using the Google Meet software also. I request all of you to please fill the attendance. Depending upon that only, we are going to consider for all of you for the certification. Now I will hand over to you, sir, Dr. Vishwanath, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning to my dear faculty members and experts. Thank you very much briefing about my profile, Mr. Basha. Thank you very much. Good morning to all. I am Dr. S. Vishwanath Raju, working as a professor of computer science and engineering, vice principal, J&H College of Engineering, Jagithala, Telangana State. But I would like to share little information regarding the institution. I came to know that this college, Kallam Harnad Reddy Institute of Technology, Guntur, was established in the year of 2010. The year is matching with me, which I shifted from the Gokaraju to JNTU. I joined in JNTU in the year of 2010 only. And crossed various milestones like, this is what the information I heard from different sources. The first milestone is accredited by NAC with the A grade from the academic year 2017-18. This is a very good achievement in the span of 10 years. So this is what good achievement, because it was established in the year of 2010. And the second achievement is accredited by NBA from the academic year 2018 and 19 for the different programs which are running by the institution. And the third significant achievement is permanently updated to JNTU, Kakinada, from the academic year 2019 and 20. The next achievement is the institute has been recognized by UGC as autonomous status from the academic year 2020-21. And also, just yesterday I received one information from your stakeholders. That is what very happy news. Extension of NBA status for one more year for the year of 2021 and 22. This is also one great achievement. That means total 4 years of accreditation. Within a short span of 10 years, having such a solid features is a marvelous. I would like to say the congratulations to the leadership and management. So that is the evidence of the leadership and management vision. Wishing this institution to achieve many more. I want to see many more achievements in this institution in coming years. It's my pleasure to associate with such an institution as a resource person for this workshop on outcome-based education. I'm also very happy to share my experience with association with this Kallam Harnad Reddy institution as being a resource person. And dignitaries present here are Kallam Harnad Reddy Garu, Chairman, Dr. Uma Shankar Reddy, Director, and B.S.B. Reddy Garu, Principal, and S. Suryanarayana Sir, Dean of Academics. Earlier he was my colleague when we were in the Gokaraju and another institution. I have very close association with him, and he is also my well-wisher. We used to talk several things. When he used to get a certain things, then he used to make a call immediately. That is what going on. I'm very thankful to my well-wisher, Suryanarayana Garu. Next, K.V. Ramprasad Sir, Head of the Department, EC Department, for encouragement for this kind of activity. K.V. Subbayadi Sir, Head of the Department of CSC, and the guest for this inauguration, Surendra Prasad Babu Garu. So this is what motto of the program, OBE system. And I would like to say the special thanks to our core resource person. He is the Bhagiraju. I think he was engaged in the sessions yesterday and day before yesterday. I heard that is also excellent. So today and tomorrow, day after tomorrow also, I'll be going to give maximum information, what you are expecting, what you have in your mind. So thank you very much to all of you once again, I must thankful to your management, your principal, and Surana Garu for giving an opportunity to share my experience with you people. So shall I continue, please, Basha sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there option? So sharing option, okay.
Sir, sharing option is enabled for you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Let us look into this PPT, whether it is visible or not. PPT is visible.
PPT is visible, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
First line, please. Read the first line.
Outcome-based education.
Yeah.
Difference between knowledge and skills.
Yeah,
Bloom's
thank you
taxonomy.
very much, ma, for the confirmation whether it is the right PPT.
Sure,
or
sir.
not.
Sure, sir. I will be there behind you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, my voice is clear. My PPT is visible. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to my dear experts. In today, I'll be talk about the three topics. One is a brief introduction about outcome-based education. Then I'll move to the difference between the knowledge and skill. The next will be ended with a Bloom's taxonomy with the sample questions also. With the sample questions. Let us see what is outcome-based education. It's not what we teach, it's what you learn. So that is what the definition, that is the motto of the outcome-based education. Whether the student is able to do it or not, that is what very much important. What I teach, that's not important. If he is able to do it, that means it is implied, which is implied, I taught or I teach, whatever it is. What is the definition of OBE? Let us look into this. OBE is a process. So that I can say it is a methodology. In every institution, they have their own methodology, their own process. So you cannot find any unique process also. So that it has multiple definitions. So that OBE is a process that involves assessment and evaluation practices in education to reflect the attainment of expected learning. So what? With the help of the assessment tools and evaluation practices, then we'll be testing with attainments, whether we are attaining or not. So that is what the process of OBE. And showing mastery in the program area. So once if the student attained all the program outcomes, that means I can say he is the master in the respective program. So that is what the definition. Once again, I'm repeating, OBE is a process, or I can say it is a methodology, so that you could not find any standard methodology in every institute have their own process, their own methodology. That involves assessment and evaluation. Assessment means the way we are conducting internal, external, project, seminar, etc. That is what assessment and evaluation practices in education to reflect the attainment of expected learning and showing mastery in the program area. The OBE framework, it is a combination of top-down approach and a bottom-up approach. So what is meant by top-down approach? The development process is a top-down approach. The development process means we start with the vision, then we'll move to the mission, and then program educational objectives, and then will be further divided into program outcomes and program specific outcomes. The next level is further divided into course outcomes, and with the help of the course outcomes, we'll be trying to extract the questions from the course outcomes with respect to the course outcomes. So this is what a questioning. But up to this, all the statements are statements only. What are the statements? Vision is a statement, PU is also a statement, PU also a statement, course outcome is a statement. But this is not the statement. This is what a question. It will be ended with. So this is what top-down process. And bottom-up approach means, it is attainment process. Attainment means we try to map with the question to CO. When I extracted the questions from the course outcome, then I need not worry about the mapping. Which mapping? Question to CO. Then again, what I want to do, I have to map CO to PO or PSO and PO to PO and PO attainment and again vision attainment. So this is what the process is called, attainment. So this entire process is called combination of top-down design and bottom-up approach. What is meant by top-down design means it is a development process, and bottom-up approach is attainment process. So once if I design, then I have to be test at each and every level whether we achieved the attainment target or not. That is the bottom-up approach. Let us look into this, a traditional education. What we have a present education system is, first we used to prepare the curriculum, then we will be trying to extracting the educational objectives in the traditional model. And also we are trying to developing an assessment mechanism for the student evaluation purpose. So this is the system we do have. But as for the OBE model, outcome-based education model, what procedure we want to follow for the framing the curriculum or defining the or designing the assessment. Let us look into this. So as per the OBE model, I want to conduct a brainstorming sessions or conduct a survey with different stakeholders, like internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. Who are the external stakeholders means employers, alumni, parents, etc. Internal stakeholders means students, faculty, and committee members. So what we need to do, we want to conduct a brainstorming sessions or conduct survey. Then based on that, I need to identify the needs of the society, health needs of society. So once if I identify the health needs of society, on the basis of the needs of society, then I have to be formulate competencies. Once if I formulate the competency, I'll explain very clearly in the coming session what is mean by competency, what is mean by outcome also. Once if I formulate the competency, then I have to be extract as maximum as possible number of outcomes from the competency. And then I have to go for the framing the curriculum. So this is the process of the outcome-based education curriculum. But it is a very lengthy process. It takes minimum is 4 to 5 hours for how to design the curriculum with respect to the outcome-based education. And based on the competence and outcomes, how to design the assessment. So this is the actual process of the outcome-based education model curriculum design. But as of now, we all may be having this kind of process, but please try to move or try to switch over from the traditional model to the outcome-based education model. You see here what I'm highlighting, health needs of society. So you see that in this pandemic situation, we all worrying about the COVID-19. You see that how many of us thinking about COVID-19? Shall we introduce any one course relevant to the COVID or a corona in our curriculum? So that is a basic need to the society, basic need to the learner also. So that like that, we have to be think and we have to be include certain courses in the curriculum based on the requirement. Let us come into the point of the differentiation between traditional education and outcome-based education. What is meant by traditional education? It is a time-based learning. It is a time-based learning. Why? It is a time-based learning. I will share with you one by one. Learning happens in classroom only. As per the traditional education system, the learning happens in classroom only. So we teach in the classroom, then we are ignoring. So this is what the system we have in the present, okay, education. But as per the outcome-based learning or education, you see that learning takes place anytime, anywhere, whatever it is. You see that now we are conducting one workshop. That means the participants are attending this workshop from their own location. So that means anywhere. And also this is facility also we want to create. Place anytime means the recorded lectures we want to be uploaded in YouTube, that we have to be make it availability to the learner. Such an environment we want to create as per the outcome-based education. Okay. The next point is, see, when we prepare the curriculum, what we used to keep in our mind, what we used to discuss with the experts. First, a knowledge, disciplinary skills, are the starting point of the curriculum as per the traditional education system. But what we need to do as per the outcome-based education system, I've told you already, you see that first identify the health needs of society, then move to the designing of the curriculum. So that you see that first realistic and practical situations are the starting point of the curriculum. So what we need to do, we have to study surrounding places, what are the issues are there, and those issues we need to consider as a one topic or as a one course. Such a experiment we want to do it. That is what real outcome-based education system. Movement based on time. You see that? So when we used to start the course, then what we are doing, first we are preparing the session plan. For what purpose? For the estimation of the required number of hours. So that means based on the hours, we will be deciding, so this course will be complete, maybe 52 hours or 60 hours or 66 hours. But that is not the right process as per the outcome-based learning, movement based on performance. Even the student, if I evaluate the student, whether he is improved or not, based on the improvement, we want to move to the next stage. That is what outcome-based education. But as for the traditional, just we are focusing on whether we are completing the syllabus or not. Even as for the NEP also, please, NEP more or less similar to the outcome-based learning only. Okay, driven by textbooks. You see that what we are doing when we are preparing the curriculum, we may be referring the textbooks and selecting certain topics and framing as a course. So that is what we had one practice. But as for the outcome-based learning, driven by needs of learners, driven by needs of the employees, driven by the needs of society. So this is what we want to be considered while framing the curriculum. Controlled by teacher. In a traditional education system, the entire thing is controlled by teacher. So you will teach in the classroom and then you will be set the question paper, evaluating. But you see that as for the outcome-based learning, teacher should act as a coach or he should act as a teamwork leader. So that is what environment we want to create in the education. So then there is a scope for the improvement. Then rote learning. In the traditional education, we are focusing much on the rote learning. Means there is a one buzzword that is called by heart. By heart. So with the by heart, what they can do once they will complete the graduation. So that what we need to do, we want to switch over to the creative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving across the content areas. So this is what missing. You see that now the industry is looking for creative, critical, and problem solvers. If I want to solve a problem, what are the basic components are required? Creative and critical thinking is very much important. The combination of these two is nothing but a problem solving. So that we must focus on these three parameters. Teacher is the only judge of quality student work. As per the traditional education system, the teacher is teaching, conducting, evaluating, finally awarding. So he is the only person judge of the quality student work. Okay, solo process. But as per the outcome-based learning or NEP 2020, self-evaluation, peers evaluation, teachers evaluation, administrators, and other stakeholders judge the student work. So this kind of environment we want to create in our education system. That means we are following the OBE process. The next one is we are preparing the students for the industrial jobs, but we are not bothering about the general education. So that the NEP 2020 has been introduced combination of the industrial job skills as well as general education. So what we need to do as per the outcome-based education, we want to train the students for 21st century skills or 21st century jobs. What is mean by 21st century jobs requirement means? One is the creative thinking, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. These are the skills are very much important for the 21st century industry. So we should concentrate on that. Product oriented. We are focusing on the product oriented, whether it is output is there or not. No, we want to focus on the process orientation. The output may be fail or success, whether he is able to apply the process or not in a systematically. That is what we want to concentrate in the education system. Quantitative assessment. So we are focusing on the quantitative, how much percentage is going to get. So now authentic assessment is important at every stage, at every semester. So these are the differences between the traditional and outcome-based learning. So as for the NGP 2020 also, the same, I think you can see later on when you attend for the NGP 2020 workshop. In the next, what is the difference between the knowledge and the skills? First, we must understand what is the knowledge, what is the skill. If we understood, then we can easily differentiate. That differentiate very helpful for the teacher. What is the knowledge? Knowledge is a theoretical or a practical understanding of the subject. So now you see that you are attending this workshop. When you are attending this workshop, what kind of skill you are going to gain? Only knowledge, not skill. Why means you are attending only, you are listening now. Once if we go back to their home institution, if we do the practice, once if you do the practice, based on that, you can gain the skill set. So that is what. Skills are practical, ability to apply knowledge to specific situations. When you are able to apply your knowledge in the specific situation, or maybe for solving of the issues when occurred. So that means a skill. Okay. So by reading, let us see. Knowledge is information acquired through attending classes, through attending seminars, through attending various activities, reading paper, or reading book, watching video, touching the people. Also, I can gain knowledge. But how can I gain the skill? Skills acquired through a training or a practice. So that you see that our curriculum is divided into 3 different categories: theoretical courses, practical courses, and attitude courses. So that so you see that why we must encourage the students towards practical orientation. So what is in the present education system? We do have 70% knowledge and 30% skill oriented courses are there. But my sincere request, you had a autonomous status, then why not to focus on the 50-50 ratio? Theory is 50 and practical is 50, then that could be good for the 21st century industry. Next, knowledge increases through experience. So by teaching at several places, I can enhance myself. So this is one good idea. Trial and error is probably the best way to achieve skills mastery. When you do not have a right method, in that case, you need to go for the trial and error method. Skills increases through practice. So through practice. Once if I get the skill set, that means indirectly I have the knowledge. Example I'm sharing. So knowing how to bake a cake, that's not important. But having baking and cooking skills are important. I know how to bake a cake, or I know how to cook a curry. But when I enter into the kitchen, I should not able to read. That means I have the knowledge, but I don't have the skill set. So I know the C language theoretically, but when I sit in front of the system, if I should not be able to implement, that means I don't have the skill set. So which is required? Both are very much important. Without knowledge, I cannot gain the skill set. So that it is an enhancement process only. So first start with the knowledge, then move to the skill, then you move to the work with the team. When you work with the team, in the team, you can gain certain skill set. That is what attitude or values. So that we must encourage our students towards the teamwork. There they can gain the what kind of skill set means attitude and values. I'm giving the one question, please. If anyone know the answer, he can send through chat box. I can check. So this is what relevant to the present topic. Mr. Sachin Tendulkar is having about a cricket. You see that Mr. Sachin Tendulkar is having about a cricket. What kind of skill is having? Whether he's having knowledge or a skill, or knowledge and skill, and D is none. You see that Mr. Sachin Tendulkar is having about a cricket. Knowledge only, or skill only, or knowledge and skill and none. You see that. So I think he is having the knowledge as well as skill. So suppose let us assume your name. You take your name. You take your name here. Maybe X is having about cricket. That means if you had experience with cricket, then you can climb the third option. Otherwise, he can go for the first or maybe D also sometimes. So it depends on that. Let us take myself, Dr. S. Viswanatharaju. He's having about a cricket. I have knowledge only. I don't have the skill set. I'm not a player. I'm not a player. So that how do I climb? So this is what right answer is C for the Sachin. Generally, all mothers are having about cooking. All mothers are having about a cooking, whether they are having knowledge and skill or none. Let us think about that, please. Just you think and you decide which is the right answer. All mothers, in general, all mothers. Next, I'm moving to the Bloom's taxonomy. This is a very important key term in outcome-based education or in the teaching environment, even industry environment also. The Bloom's taxonomy provides an important framework to not only design curriculum and teaching methodologies, but also to design appropriate examination questions belonging to various cognitive levels. We see that how this is playing the key role. It is playing the key role in the design curriculum, and also you see the teaching methodology. In addition to this, another also there. What is that? Design appropriate examination questions. So we must have little experience with this. You see that we must require this is the skill set. What skill set? How to design a curriculum and how to develop the teaching methodologies and how to improve the teaching methodologies and how to set the question paper. So the Bloom's taxonomy is having the highest priority in these three dimensions. One is design curriculum, teaching methodologies, and question paper setting. So in this aspect, there are three types of domains are there. There are three different types of domains are there. One is the cognitive skills. I think you know that cognitive skills are relevant to the subject domain, relevant to the core area. So cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are the core skills your brain uses to think. Your brain uses to think, read, learn, remember, reason, and pay attention. So this is applicable to the core skills. Another second one is there. That is what affective domain skill set. Affective domain skill. The affective domain involves our feelings, emotions, and attitudes. So this is also very much important. So when we are participating in a team or when we are involving in the team, so this is very much important. How to behave in the team, how to tackle the team. So this is what. The next one is psychomotor domain. The psychomotor domain includes physical movement, coordination, and use of the motor skill areas. So this is also very much important. I think we are all aware of this in this pandemic situation. In this pandemic situation, everyone have the cognitive skills who are having the degree, but that is which is a missing. How to behave in a group, how to tackle the people, and how to maintain self environment. What is that self environment? My body. So that is what very much important for the lifestyle as well as career. Okay. As for the Bloom's taxonomy, there are 6 key terms are there. One is remembering, second one is understanding, third one is applying, fourth one is analyzing, evaluating, creating. What is meant by remembering? Remembering means recall facts and basic concepts. You see, you may be remembering your father birthday or mother birthday or your child birthday. So that means you have a good remembering skills. And understanding, explain ideas or concepts. Suppose if I ask a student, you explain about a fan or about a cell phone or about a etc. So if he could able to explain with his own wordings, then he has the understanding skill set. Then applying, use information in a situations to answer questions or solve problems. So whatever the knowledge he is having, whatever the knowledge gained during the education, that he must try to apply when the situation comes. You see, let us take one example. In Hyderabad, one incident happened. That is what? Okay, Disha case. So he has excellent knowledge, but he was unable to take a decision. He was unable to apply proper mechanism to come out from that situation. Lack of application knowledge. I want to predict what is going to happen. With respect to that objective, I have to choose the right mechanism, a right methodology to come out from that situation. Then analyzing. So analyzing means take a part information to show relationships, causes, and connections. So I want to be analyzed. Suppose if I want to choose a right partner for my lifestyle, what I need to do? I have 3-4 options are there. In 3-4 options, what I want to do? I have to be analyzed first. I want to differentiate X person, Y person, Z person. Then I have to be apply the evaluation. Once I analyzing over, then evaluation. By the help of the evaluation with sufficient evidential information, I have to be choose who is good among the 3 people. Among the 3 people. So that is what. Justify a stand or a position. Then creative, produce something new, which is not available in the present market. So that is what we want to create. Suppose there is a one, maybe chicken curry is there. You see that how many flavors are there? That is also creativity. Chicken, gungura chicken, or maybe totakura chicken, or maybe etc. You see that if you add some flavor, then they may be naming with a different, then that is what they are considering as a creative. Okay, so produce something new. A delta X differentiation is also acceptable. So these are the skills: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creative. These are 6 comes under the cognitive domain only. This could be applicable for the subject domain or even real life also. I'll explain one by one very clearly with examples. Very important in the teaching. Okay, remembering, recalling from the memory of the previously learned material. Just recalling. I have given already one example. What is that? Birthday. That means you have a remembering skill set. And what the skill demonstrated with respect to the remembering, ability to recall information like facts, conventions, definitions, jargon, technical terms, classifications, categories, and criteria. All these comes under the remembering skill set only. Criteria also. You see that suppose student percent grading, that is also one kind of criteria. Ability to recall methodology and procedures, abstractions, principles, and theories in the field. By practice, I can improve the remembering skill set. That is also one of the best important please, by practice or by teach. Which is the right tool for enhancement of the learning? One is the teaching, the second one is the practicing only. Okay, knowledge of dates, events, places, mastery of subject matter. Let us see what are the key terms I want to use when I am preparing the question paper. If I am preparing the question paper, in that question paper, if I want to select at least 1 or 2 questions relevant to the remembering skill set, in that case, you can use any one of this keyword, any one of this action verb. List, define, tell, describe, recite, recall, identify, show, label, tablet, code, name, who, when, where. If these are the verbs are there, then I should be considered that is maybe person is belongs to remembering, and not only by this term. I should know the complete meaning of the question, then I could able to decide it. Otherwise, I should not able to decide sometimes. There should be possibility of the ambiguity between the one person to another person also. In that case, what I need to do? I have to be understand the entire question. So that is what. I give some sample questions also relevant to the remembering questions. What happened after? How many people are in your home? How many brothers are there? How many faculty members? How many publications? What is X? What is perception? What is remembering? What is analyzing? So that means such a questions comes under the category of remembering. So remembering. The next, understanding. Explaining ideas or concepts. When I explain certain topic in the classroom, immediately I have to be raise the question or queries to the student, give the students, then the student want to give the on same topic with their own connectors. So if they could able to demonstrate, that means they have the understanding capabilities. That is what skill demonstrated. Understanding information, grasp meaning, translate knowledge into new context. Even they can correlate to that. Suppose if I have given one example while teaching about that cognitive skills. What example I have given? I have taken one example. If I want to choose the right partner for my lifestyle, That is what I have been correlated. I understood, so that I am able to correlating to the a real world situation, a real world situation. That means interpret facts, compare, contrast, order, group, infer causes, predict consequences. Then when I'm trying to preparing the question paper, in that question paper, if I want to choose or select one or two questions relevant to the understanding, what are the key terms I have to be used? You see that describe, explain, okay, restate, associate, contrast, summarize, differentiate, interpret, discuss, etc. But there may be possibility of the overlapping key terms also there between the one skill to another skill. But how can I differentiate? By considering the entire meaning of the question only. Sometimes I could have the conflict. That conflict I can overcome with the help of the entire meaning of the question. What are the possible questions? You see that understanding questions. Can you write in your own words regarding maybe X technique? Can you write in your own words maybe data structure definition? Okay, that is what you see there. Can you write a brief outline of X method? What do you think might happen next? What do you think might happen next? That is also understand. Who do you think about X? You see that? Like you see that these are the possible questions. Next, applying. Using the information in another familiar situation. Whatever the information I have, that information I have to apply for the right time in the right situation. So that is what application knowledge. I have the maybe several methods in my mind. Suppose if I want to travel from my place to maybe Delhi. In that case, what I need to do with respect to my budget, I want to try to choose which is the right mode to travel. One is a flight, the second one is helipad, third one is a train, fourth one is a car. All these have to be considered, and then I have to be choose which is the right one with respect to my objective and with availability of my budget. So that is what application knowledge. Who can choose right mode, they do have the application. So not only for the subject, please, even for the real life management or healthy management, you can use this is the skill for the management of the financial things in the home. Skill demonstrated under the applying, use information or use methods, concepts, laws, theories in new situations. You see that generally judges, they have the laws, they can use a section number for the particular situation. So that is what you see that they are able to choose the right article for the right situation. Theories in new situations. Whatever the theories you have in your mind, that theory you can choose for the right situation in the right time. So that is what. Solve problems using required skills or a knowledge. Demonstrating correct usage of method or a procedure. Then when I want to select one or two questions in the question paper, what are the key terms? You see that possible verbs for test. Okay, calculate, predict, apply, solve, illustrate, use, demonstrate, determine, model, experiment, show, examine, modify. So these are the terms are indicating application knowledge. But there is a overlapping between the understanding, application, sometimes with analyzing also. What are the possible questions? Let us look into this. With application, applying questions. How do you use X for the so-and-so situation? What examples can you find to X? What examples? What other way would you plan to? Okay, plan to for the your activity. Like you see that how do you solve using what you have learned? How do you solve X problem using what you have learned? So that is what application knowledge. Next, analyzing. Breaking information into the part of explore, understandings, and relationships. You see that if I want to analyze, if it is a task is very small, then I can easily to analyze. If the task is very complex, in that case, what I want to do, I have to break into several sub-components and solve individual and try to find the relationship, and then I have to go for the conquering. So that is what analyzing. So skill demonstrated under the analyzing. Break down a complex problem into parts. So into parts. Suppose if I want to maybe what method is say that suppose I want to shift maybe 2 lakhs of water from one location to other location. What I should be, I do apply the application and analyzing only, definitely. Identify the relationships and interaction between the different parts of a complex problem. identify the missing information, sometimes the redundant information and the contradictory information also. So where I want to try to identify the redundant things, if I can able to identify the redundant things, that means I have the analyzing skill set. I have the analyzing skill set. This is very much important in the essay writing or whoever is going to perform in the IAS entrance examinations. There it is going to play the key role. So that in information, trying to avoid the redundancy. Okay. And missing information also, how to identify. Suppose if I give a one para to you, then what you need to do, you need to go through the entire para, then you have to be identified whether the content is having the redundancy or maybe any missing information is there. So that is what analyzing, you see that. Why we are inviting the external person? For analyzing and evaluating only. For what? For making better shape of the, which we have the content. Next. What are the verbs that have to be considered for the framing of the question paper relevant to the analyzing skill set? Classify, outline, break down, categorize, analyze, diagram, illustrate, infer, select. Okay, so these are the words. Possible questions, you see that. What are the parts of features of X? Suppose you see that if I want to differentiate junior NTR and senior NTR, then what I need to do? First, I want to identify the features. What features have to be considered for comparing junior NTR, senior NTR. So that, how can I decide that? By the help of the analyzing skill set only. How is X related to Y? How is X related to Y? How is a child is, X person is related to Y person? How is Narendra Modi is related to the Amit Shah? So this is what the kind is analyzing process only. Why do you think X? What is the theme? You see that. How do you classify? How do you classify? There are a set of people are there. Now you need to classify into two groups. In that case, what kind of skill is required? Analyzing skill set only. Analyzing skill set. Evaluating. Justifying a decision or a course of action. What I want to do? I have to take the decision making with the help of the evidential information. So that is what evaluating process. Not to simply to say excellent, good, very good. No, I have to give the with the justification why this is excellent, why this is outstanding. Not simply to give a rating, please. So that is not the correct process as per the academician. What the skills are demonstrated under the category of evaluating, compare and discriminate between ideas. Discriminate between ideas. Suppose today if I want to solve one problem, for that problem, which is the right method, I have to choose. In that case, what kind of skill I have to be applied? Analyzing and evaluating both. First, I must compare. Then I have to be analyze my data set. Then which is the best for my data set? That is what I want to be choose. So such a skill is very much important in the present environment, even for the 21st century jobs. Make choices based on reasoned argument. Verify value of evidence. Verify value of evidence and recognize subjectivity. Use of definite criteria for judgments. Even you see that if I want to select a right partner for my lifestyle, for future life management, in that case, what I have to do it, I have the three people are there. In the three people, I want to select who is the right person. Who is the right person? How can I decide it? I want to define first criteria. Criteria 1, education. Criteria 2, income. Criteria 3 is attitude. Criteria 4 is social, maybe relevancy. Criteria 3 is family taking care. Like you have to be define all the criteria. Then you have to be collect the data from three people. Then based on that, you can take the. We're going to select the he is the right person. How you are taking that? By evaluating with the respect to the criteria only. And what are the key terms I have to be used while setting the question paper? You see that verbs: decide, choose, rank, grade, test, measure, defend, recommend, convince, select, judge, support, conclude, argue, justify, compare, summarize. You see, compare I might be seen in the previous also. Okay. Summarize also I might be seen. So that without knowing the complete meaning of the question, I should not able to take a decision whether this question is belongs to the analyzing or maybe understanding or maybe evaluating. So that we must know the complete meaning of the question. But these are the certain sample set of key terms I'm providing. Okay. Questions for evaluating. Is there a better solution to Is there a better person for your lifestyle? When I say, okay, is the right person for me, immediately you may be going to question to me, is there any better person? Okay, judge the value of X. What do you think about X is that? Can you defend your position about X is that? Where I have to be applied, this is what, if I am climbing, this is what my result in my research work, I have to be provide the judgment. Without a judgment, without a process, without evidential information, if I can climb, my algorithm is dust among the several algorithms that I don't accept it without any evidential information. So for such information is required for the research people who are working. Next, you see that how do you have handled? You see that suppose if I want to handle a wife or husband, in that case, what are the mechanisms are required? What are the evaluation is required first? I want to evaluate the X person. What is their attitude? Based on that, I should handle, not simply to say yes or no. Okay, so there we require analyzing and evaluating skill set, creating, generating new ideas, products, or new ways of viewing things. So which is not available in the market, that have to be created. So whether it is a small difference, that difference means delta X difference also. I think you might be heard in a different hotels. There are varieties of dosas are there, nearly 16 varieties of dosas. What we heard, only one dosa. But when I visit one hotel, in that hotel I found 16 varieties of dosas. That means creative, small delta X difference only. So that is also one creative skill set. Okay, creative means not only completely innovative, little moderation, which is not there in the present market. Generating new ideas, products, or new ways of viewing things, new ways of viewing things. What skill demonstrated under this? Use old ideas to create new ones. So what we are doing is that we want to be work for the research. What I have to do? I have to go for the either completely new, or I have to use the old and moderate it for the creation of new one, or maybe high grade, or maybe you may be going for moderation of which we have. So that is what combine parts to make whole. You may be selecting certain best features, X method and Y method, then you are going to making as a whole. So that is you are climbing as a new your work. Generalize from given facts. You need to generalize from given facts. So how can I generalize it? My X faculty is like he is maybe is very weak, or maybe he is not a good person for someone's activity. How you can generalize it? So based on the facts, evidences, information, based on the prior knowledge only, based on the prior information. Relate knowledge from several areas, predict, draw conclusions. Even if I want to conclude whether my principle is good or not, in that case, what I have to be applied? I have to be required. What required? Analyzing, evaluating, creative skill set also, if I want to improve myself. So these are the verbs we have to be used when we want to set the maybe project work, or maybe a problem, or maybe mini project work problem, or assignment questions, or case study. Design, formulate, build, invent, create, compose, generate, derive, modify, develop, integrate. So this is what very much important when we are setting the question paper. What are the possible questions? You see that research paper students paper. Suppose if I am working for the research paper, in that case, the students, let us see, students may be asked to create a prospects in which they formulate a hypothesis, compile a bibliography, and plan a research schedule. So this process is called creative only. So I have to prepare my own plan schedule. Okay, my own, not to copy from others. If I'm creating my own schedule, that means that is also creative only. Your schedule may be vary with my schedule, and compile a bibliography, or maybe formulate a hypothesis. So generally, when we start the research, we start with a hypothesis only. We may be assuming this is what the procedure is going to get the good result with the following procedure. So when I am assuming initially some certain procedure, that procedure is called hypothesis. Once I implement, after implementation, if it is producing accurate result or maybe excellent result, that hypothesis I may be converting into the method. I'm converting into the method. After result, I can climb. That is what my method. Before the execution, I used to talk with a popular nomenclature that is called hypothesis only. Okay, so there we want to apply creative skill set. Let us look into this. I think you know already this skill set. So there is a certain categories are there, but I found in a different books and literature also. So the 6 divided into 2 categories with overlapping. Lower order thinking skills means remembering, understanding, applying. Okay, and okay, sometimes they may be called this one. So higher order thinking skills means you see that creating, evaluating, analyzing, applying. So there is a overlapping. Which is overlapping? Applying is there. Applying is common in both. Please all of you remember this is very much important while discussing about the differentiation between the UG curriculum and PG curriculum. Let us say generally I may use it. What cognitive levels for the preparation of the continuous internal examination or semester end examination. That is what fixed our examination. Internal examination or end examination. This is what fixed our examination. When the exam is fixed out, then if I give a question relevant to the creative, so how they can think, how they can create hypothesis, how they can decide whether that hypothesis is the right one or not. So that what we need to do as a faculty, we must remember when we are setting the question paper, means fixed our examination question paper. In that case, I want to consider remembering, understanding questions, applying questions, analyzing questions. 1 or 2 you can ask relevant to the evaluating, not creative kind of questions, please. All of you remember this. When the exam is fixed our examination. Sir, when I can test the creative skill set, that is what another option is there. Generally, every program divided into 2 different segments. One is a fixed hour examination, other one is not time bound examination. That is what you see that course project, mini project, minor project, capstone project, case study, assignment, and seminar, etc. all there. So these are the tools are there. I can use this any one of these tools for the you see that applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. So when I'm setting the assignment question, I must keep in my mind, please, you focus on the higher order thinking skills than lower order thinking skills. How can I evaluate whether the assignment is satisfying the Bloom's level or not? We see that if I see the one question in that assignment, if it is there, what is X method? What is the X method? Why should I ask in assignment? They go back to the home and they see the textbook, they can write the answer. So that what we need to do, we have to be focused on higher order thinking skills. Okay, so higher order thinking skills only. And also you see that one more doubt is there. I have one query. What is the query means? So please listen carefully. What is the difference between the UG curriculum and PG curriculum? So this is what I heard from different sources when I used to visit college, and then I had interaction with the different experts. And what they used to answer, UGs are basic courses and PG is advanced courses. As an academician, that is not the right answer as per my opinion, as per my observation. Who can have the knowledge regarding this Bloom's taxonomy, then they can answer very easily. How can I differentiate the UG curriculum and PG curriculum? That is what I'll be going to share with you. You see that in this. Let us think about this program. And this is ratio is L means lower order thinking skills, H means higher order thinking skills. Just I'm giving the approximation figure only, but not accurate figure. That figure is maybe depends on the committee. So BOS committee may be there. Okay. So suppose a diploma course is there. When I'm framing the diploma curriculum, what I need to do? I have to think much on the lower order thinking skills than higher order thinking skills. I have to be focused on the 90 to 10, maybe 90% or maybe 80 to 100% or 80 to 90% on lower order thinking skills, and between 0 to 10% higher order thinking skills. You see that we used to talk about diploma students are skilled people. Skilled people means who can have the lower order thinking skills. They are the skilled people. Application. You see that up to application only. They doesn't have a much skill set which is right, which is not sometimes. And in addition to that, certain extra courses also required relevant to the affection and psychomotor. So affective and psychomotor skills. So 5 to 15% courses you need to consider in the curriculum. This is very much important in the curriculum. So for diploma. So now let us go for the UG program. Let us see UG. UG is what you see that I'll be taking I will be concentrate much on the lower order thinking skills, 50 to 60% or 65%, and 35 to 50% is higher order thinking skills. In addition to this, this is the common for all the courses, which is a common affective and psychomotor skills. I've told you already, Bloom's taxonomy. There are 3 domains are there. One is the cognitive skills, second one is affective domain skills, third one is the psychomotor skills. So when we are framing the curriculum, we must consider these 3 terms. What are the 3 terms? Cognitive skills, affective, psychomotor. You see UG, the ratio what I'm taking, 50 to 65 lower order thinking skills, 35 to 50% is higher order thinking skills. So then you see that I'm moving to the PG program, how it is changing the ratio. The PG program, you see that inverse. You see that I'm concentrating on lower order skills, 32 or 35 to 50% and 50 to 65. So that means I'm giving the priority for the higher order thinking skills when I'm framing the PG curriculum. When I'm framing the UG curriculum, I'm giving the priority for the lower order thinking skills. So that is what the basic difference between the UG and PG curriculum. So not simple answer. UG is a basic courses, PG is advanced courses. That is not the right answer. Please, you need to differentiate with the Bloom's taxonomy. Please, all of you listen carefully this word. Okay, as a being a POS member, we must think in this direction. And the research, you see that. In the research, I am giving for the lower order thinking skill 0%. And higher order is, you see that 100%. So that the researchers have to be focused on the application, analyzing, evaluating, creating, than understanding and remembering. So this is what you see that the difference between the diploma to UG, UG to PG, and PG to research. I think now you understood what is the importance of the Bloom's taxonomy in the curriculum design as well as in the question paper setting. So I'll be going to share how to set the question paper with the Bloom's taxonomy. This is a very important component as per the AICTE instructions also. Already AICTE is instructed to all the institutions from the last year or maybe this year, we must follow the Bloom's taxonomy question paper. Even such a models, if you want, you can find in a AICTE website. So as being a approved college faculty, we must require, this is the skill set, please. Let us see. I'll be going to share one more example. Example 1. Primary English language classroom for understanding of the 6 cognitive skills. Primary English language classroom. Remembering, you see that teaching learners the letters of the alphabet through rote learning. So you see that here we must apply rote learning by doing the practice, by writing, by reading, by watching videos. Like you see that letters of the alphabet through rote learning. That means by heart. Once if I am remembering the alphabets, then I can easily understanding, you see that. Learners realize how words, for example, their names, are constructed by combining letters. That is what understanding. With first, I must remember, if I have the information in my memory, then that I can use it for formulation of the names. Okay, that is what understanding. Applying. Learners use the letters of the alphabet to write words they are shown. When they could able to form a wordings. So that is what. Next, analyzing. Learners apprise a list of words and can point out correctly and incorrectly spelled words. So that is what, whatever the content provided, in that content, what are the words are spelled correctly, what are the words are not correctly spelled. So that is what you need to find out. So that is what analyzing skill set. Evaluating. Learners determine that the word can be used to form a written communication. Suppose certain words are there for the written communication, certain words are there for oral communication. If you could able to decide, that means you have the evaluating skill set. Okay. Then creating. Learners construct simple pieces of communication from the words and phrases learned. If I could able to write something with my own wordings for certain task, for certain situation, for certain activity, that means I have the creative skills. Content writing creative skill set. That means you see that film directors, they have the creativity. So they had this kind of skill set, the piece of information they are communicating for attracting of the maximum number of audiences. That is what creativity. So this is one example. So now question and answer session, please. Let us look into this question. All of you, please. Read the question. A student is not able to complete his project even though he is having good programming skills. The students needs in. I have told you already. What I have told you, you see that? Here, listen. You see that what we require? Higher order thinking skills. For these are the activities. Lower order thinking, sir. For these are the activities. Means fixed our examination. For remaining higher order thinking skills. Please, all of you, remember this. A student is not able to complete his project even though he is having a good programming skills. The students needs in. The students needs in. What students needs? Lower order thinking skills, a psychomotor domain, or affective domain, or higher order thinking skills. He is having a good programming skills. He is having a good programming skills, but he could not able to complete his project. What is the reason? He is extraordinary programmer, no doubt about it. When I assign the project, but he should not able to complete. What is the reason? Let us see. The answer is lagging higher order thinking skills. Lagging higher order thinking skills means analyzing, evaluating, creative. He should able to decide which is required to that situation. How he can decide it? With the help of the analyzing and evaluation only. Then he can think on the creative. So he is lagging in the higher order thinking skills only. So when the student perform very well in the project, what he required? Higher order thinking skills. Suppose the student is acting as a leader of the project. In that case, what are the skills are required? You see that many answers are there. Okay. A student is not able to recollect his friends' names. A student is not able to recollect his friends' names. The students needs in. So that means what? What is the weak? You see that understanding, remembering, lower order thinking skills, higher order thinking skills. Which is the right answer? Please you choose. The student is not able to recollect his friends' names. Or, okay, any other one. Okay, so remembering is weak. Remembering answer. Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to analyze information given? Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to analyze information given? Analyze information given. The classify, differentiate, define, recognize. Which is the right answer? Here is a little confusing is there. Which is the right answer? You need to identify that. Let us see. My answer is, you see that differentiate. If I am able to differentiating two, then that means I have the analyzing skill set. Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to remember the friends? Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to remember the friends? Classify, differentiate, recognize, judge. Which is the right answer for the remembering, please? So, if we can able to recognize the person, that means he's having the remembering skill set. So, which is the right answer? My answer is C. C. Next, which of the following cognitive verbs are used to evaluate the information given? Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to evaluate the information given? There is the information. I want to evaluate it. Finally, I want to give the marks or I want to give the rating. In that case, what is the, okay, see that, which is the relevant cognitive verb? Classify, differentiate, recognize, judge. Which is the right answer, please? So I want to take a judgment. So right answer is judge. How to? Without judgment, I cannot give a rating. I think as a being a teacher, we may be evaluating the answer scripts. What kind of method we are applying? Evaluation skill set only. Judgment skill we are giving. Next question. Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to find the solution for the problem given? Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to find the solution for the given problem? For the given problem. Find the solution. Means our aim is find the solution for the given or maybe for the problem given. A, solve. B, differentiate. C, judge. D, recognize. Which is the right answer, please? Find the solution. We know very familiar in the mathematics also. Okay? A solve answer. Next. Which of the following cognitive verbs are used to apply for the selection of best partner among the 5 familiar members? I want to select a right partner for my lifestyle management in the future. In that case, what kind of skill is required? You see that application knowledge or creative, analyzing, evaluating. Which is the right one? You see that for the selection, for choosing, okay? Applying, creative, analyzing, evaluating. So as per my observation, for selection, evaluation is required. Okay, my answer is D. Answer is D. So, okay. Any doubts, please, up to now? Any doubts, please, regarding cognitive skills? Okay. Shall I continue, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. My PPT is visible, please?
No, sir. No, sir.
No?
Please click on present once again, sir.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Share once again. Yes.
So, right now, please.
Yes, sir. It's visible now, sir.
Okay. Affective domain. So, what we discussed in the initial, there are 3 domains are there. One is the cognitive skill, second one is affective domain, third one is the psychomotor. What it mean by affective domain? Affective domain related to feelings, values, appreciation, motivations, and attitudes. Who can have the excellent affective domain skill set, they can survive in this pandemic situation. This is what I observed by going through the several articles, by interacting with the senior citizens also. So who can have this skill set, they can easily to survive in this pandemic situation, please. Feelings, values, appreciation, motivations, and attitudes. So I think you know that symbols in the WhatsApp or maybe Facebook, wherever you see, and you see that caring, knowledgeable, principled, etc. You see that core values. Many are there, but I'm giving little bit information how. Affective domain means people react emotionally and their ability to feel other living things, pain or joy. So this is what everyone has to keep in mind. So if I'm talking with X person, am I giving any pain to them? Am I giving any joy to them? This is what we want to be keep. How I can decide it? If I can have the cognitive skills, if I have the analyzing skill set and evaluating skill set, then I can think in that direction. So why should I think in that direction means, what is the attitude of the person? What is the behavior of the person? What is the born and brought up of the person? I must consider. Then I should talk like you see that what you wish. The general 5 levels in the affective domain from the lowest to the highest. First, receiving. The student pays attention. Without this level, no learning can occur. Suppose someone is saying something, I must receive the information. Whether it was very familiar or if I doesn't like, even though I should receive, I should listen. That is very much important in this pandemic situation. Listen and then respond. The student also reacts in some way. You need to react, not straight away. This is good, this is not good. You can convey in a different manner, in a politely. So that is what responding and valuing. The students some values to the knowledge they acquired. What the information received, then they may be giving. I must give the value to that information, whether it is a good or bad. I must give the value to that information. Then I must go for the organizing the information which I received. The student is relating and elaborating on what has been learned, what I received from X. I must organize, I must try to relate to several consequences. Okay. Then characterizing, then the student summarize the information. How to be summarized. This is what sequence we need to follow as being a member in the team. Then everybody will happy. All are will be live long. Okay. So that is what psychomotor domain. Ability to physically manipulate a tool or instrument like a hand or hammer. See, this is very much important psychomotor skills, not only for the lifting and items, but even for our self-satisfaction. We must maintain the health. Why it is very important means we do have the brain. In the brain, there are 10 to the power of 11 neurons are there. In the 10 to the power of 11 neurons, everyone have that at the initial stage. Slowly, one by one killing. At the end, all we lose. That is what. But in the 10 to the power of 11 neurons, the neurons are divided into 3 categories. One is sensory neurons. Second one is the motor neurons. Third one is the intermediary neurons. So that you see that when we have a neuron, the neuron is directing my body. It is controlling my entire body, a neuron only. This is the controlling of my body. If I want to lift some item, the neuron has to give the direction to that particular resource. Otherwise, I could not able to lift it. So that what we required, we must be required what? Psychomotor neurons and affective domain. This affective domain means sensory. I must get a happiness. I must give the strength to my neurons. How can I get, you see that sensory neurons means by touch, by listening, by seeing, by tasting, by etc. You see that smell. You see that? So affective domain. This is what missing in the present education system. This is one of the reasons for we are facing a lot of problems. So when we had one issue, when I receive one, suppose one issue is there, what is that drowsiness today? Drowsiness. When I have a drowsiness, what I need to think? Maybe I may be having little feverish. Then immediately what should I do? Do I need to approach to the doctor? Do I need to approach to the doctor? As per my observation, not required. What I need to do? I have to collect a data regarding my health for the last 20 days. For the last 20 days. What information I have to collect? How much time I spent for my sleep. Minimum 7 to 8 hours is required per day. And what quality food I have taken last 20 days. Have I involved in any conflicts of issues? Have I taken sufficient water or not? Have I involved in a more than my ability in the work? Like you need to collect the data. You need to try to apply the cognitive skills. What cognitive skills? Analysis, evaluation. Then you decide why I'm today drowsiness. I'm having drowsiness or maybe feverish. Based on that, you think and you try to find the root cause with the help of the cognitive skill set and affective domain and psychomotor domain also. With the psychomotor, I can find where I'm weak. Okay, that is what. The physical skills such as a movement, coordination, manipulation, grace, strength. Tug of war and football. You see that here we can learn certain skill set. What? How to work as a member, how to lead the member team, how to get maybe how to face the win and okay in-win situations, certain things. Now I'll be going for the question and answer session, please. Let us take please this question. A newly married person is aggressive in his family. Let us see. A newly married person is aggressive in his family and does not know the family ethics. This person needs sin. This person needs sin. What skills are required to this person? You see, what we used to do it when he is not behaving properly in the home, then immediately we are suggesting a psychology, maybe a counselor. Okay. So in the why we are suggesting the counselor? because of his misbehaving. So what is the weak? You see that the cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, or affective domain, or higher order thinking skills, which is a weak in that person. In that person, why? You see that? Let us take it. My answer is C, affective domain. So he does not know the family ethics. Maybe I came from another family to the X family. When I had in my family certain ethics, when I am entering into the next X family, in that family they had their own ethics. So what I need to do? I must understand their procedures, protocols, and then I should behave. When I can understand, if I have this kind of skill set, what skill set? Receiving, responding, characterizing, summarizing, these are the things are required. You see that affective domain skill. So this is what missing in the present education system, so that we may be finding the diverses also in this generation. What is the problem for the diversion means? This is what missing in the education system. Affective skill set not there, only job skill set only. The next, all mothers are having dash cognitive skills, affective domain, psychomotor, all of the above. All the mothers, I'm telling about all the mothers. All the mothers means maybe mothers may be educated or uneducated, mothers may be handicapped, maybe they're not much. Okay, so that the term is see that all mothers are having dash cognitive skills or affective domain or psychomotor or all of the above. So all the mothers are having the affective domain skill. If they doesn't have this kind of skill set, they cannot take care of their children. They cannot take care of their children. So this is they have. So affective domain, they are very strong in affective domain skill. Even you take the statistics of this the COVID situation, when the 100 people deceased, in the 100 deceased, 70 is a male category, 30% is a female category there, as per my observation. Why? They have strong affective skill set. They can bear for anything, but male may or may not be. That is what situation. Okay. Answer is B. The next question. This question comes under which cognitive skill? That is what you want to find out, please. How many brothers and sisters do we have? So this is remembering or analyzing, remembering or understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. Please you try to identify appropriate answer for this. How many brothers and sisters do we have? This is what remembering. Next, Rahul said, this girl is the wife of my father. And how is Rahul related to that girl? Okay, so you see that here I am trying to finding the relationship. When there is a relationship, then which is the right cognitive verb? Let us see, analyzing. Where the relationship I am finding, there I must be required analyzing skill set. So this is what. Now some sample model questions I am going to share with you, please. You try to identify the appropriate answer for this question. Okay. So okay, let us see. I have used some keywords also. I have told you in the beginning itself, for remembering some set of key verbs are there for understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. But I have selected randomly certain verbs. Okay. This is the question. Let us look into this. List 3 different software languages. List 3 different software languages. Now, what is the right answer for this? You see that. Is it remembering question or applying or analyzing or understanding? Which is the right answer for this question, please? Which is the right answer? So list 3 different software languages. That means I have to be recollected. That means remembering, recollecting. Answer is A. The next question is give typical specifications of computer. It was made by X. Now what I want to do, I want to give a typical specifications of computer. Which is the right answer for this? Remembering, applying, analysis, understanding. My answer is, let us see, A, remembering. Why means I want to remember the configuration of the computer or specifications of the computer. So computer to compare could be varied. That is what, without remembering, I should not able to specify. The next question is, compare primary and secondary memory. Compare primary and secondary memory. Here is comparison, but the comparison is what? The primary memory and secondary memory, both man-made, okay, not God, nature. When the both are man-made, you see that now I want to compare these two, okay? Which is the right answer? Remembering, applying, understanding, creative. In this case, now I am going to comparing man-made, okay, not nature entities. Here I am comparing to man-made entities, okay? So in this case, what I need to do? I have to be apply which kind of skill set? What? Understanding. I need to understanding. The next, how does a computer help in enhancing business performance? How does a computer help in enhancing business performance? Okay. So in this case, which is the right answer, please? How does a computer help in enhancing business performance? Which is my answer? Let us see. Understanding. So first I must understand. So whether the computer is required or not. Then I can go for the enhancement of business. Write a C program to search an element in a given set of numbers. Write a C program. Means C program is solving. In a mathematics, you may be calling by the name is solving. In the computer, you may be calling by the name is program. C program to search an element in a given set of numbers. Which is the right answer for this, please? Let us see. Remembering or applying or creative or understanding. So when we are setting the question paper, please, we must map with the Bloom's level only. Okay. So now let us see. It is a C program. So applying. Answer is applying. B. The next question is, rearrange the given elements in ascending order using sorting technique. Rearrange the given elements in ascending order using sorting technique. Which is the right answer, please? Is it belongs to the remembering or creative or applying or understanding? Let us see. Application knowledge. So this is what application. Like few more questions. So consider the segment of code given below. Predict the output of the program. So suppose there is a segment of code, that output I want to predict it. So how can I predict it? By moving step by step. So then I can able to predict the output. So there is a certain methodology there. By applying that methodology, if I give a certain input, for that input, what is the output? That is what I want to be help. In that case, what skill is required? Analysis. That means correlating line to line or statement to statement. Analysis. Next, given below laptop specifications of two laptops, which one is suited for your work? Why? Which one is suited for your work? Why? There are two laptops are there with the specifications. In that two laptops, which is the right laptop for your work and why? So that is what is the question. Which is the right answer, please? Let us see. Evaluate, applying, analysis, understanding. Which is the right answer is evaluate. So I want to choose. I want to select from two. I want to select from two with respect to my objective. With respect to my objective. So that evaluate. The next question. How would life be different if there were no electricity? List three different ways. It is in nature. Okay. How would life be different if there were no electricity? List three different ways. Whether this is the question is creative or applying or analyzing or any other thing, please. Okay. Evaluate, applying or creative or analysis, please. Okay. So in this case, I want to imagine if there is no electricity, I want to list three different ways. Creative skill set. There I have to be creative. Next, film story writing and novel writing. So what kind of skill is required for film story writing and even for novel writing? Definitely I must be required, which is, you see that I want to attract maximum number of readers. I want to attract maximum number of audience. So in this case, what skill I have to be applied? Creative or evaluate or applying. Let us see that the combination. The first is remembering and creative. B is applying and creative. C is a creative and analysis. D is a creative and creative. So if I want to attract maximum number of audience, I must be apply the creative skill set. If I want to attract maximum number of readers, my book or my novel, in that case also I have to be apply the creative. So that right answer is D. So like this, you need to try to prepare the question paper. I think now you understood what is the importance of the Bloom's taxonomy in the process of the question paper setting. Okay. The next topic is please 1 minute. Any doubts, please, or any queries in this topic? Please, coordinator, please. My PPT is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read the first line.
Difference between course objectives and course outcomes.
Yeah, please. My voice is clear. PPT is visible.
Yes, sir. Now it's fine, sir. And the slide also, full slide, it is visible, sir.
Okay, read the first line, please.
Difference between course objectives and course outcomes, and with questions writing course outcomes.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, very good afternoon. This is what the second session. I'll be going to complete this topic within a very short period. That means the maximum is 20 minutes, because of we had a little experience with this kind of activity, means course outcome formulation. Okay, I give the brief information. First, we'll start with the differences between course objectives and course outcomes. This is what we had a bit confusing. So, do I need to write a course outcomes, or do I need to write a course objectives, or do I need to write both? So, this is what we had a little bitter experience and confusing also. And I'll be going to share how to formulate the course outcomes. Difference between the course outcomes and course objectives. So course objectives are nothing but input based system, and course outcomes are output based system. Then you see that when coming to the course objective means focus on curriculum and instruction only. How we will be write a course objective means based on the curriculum and instruction, and focus on application and higher order learning skills. So as for the outcome based education, the course outcome is focusing on the application and also higher order learning skills. Let us take one example. So a course objective means the students will be able to understand the concepts of X and Y. So this is what I used to teach in the class. But what is the requirement? What student required? You see that what industry is expecting from the student, not to know X and Y, not to know X and Y, what they require. Students will be able to understand the concepts of X and Y. They understand the concept X and Y, and the student is able to choose appropriate one for the appropriate situation, or choose suitable concept for respective domain. So this is what very much important in the present scenario. How many techniques I know for the X task, that's not important. Which is the right technique for the X task? So that is very much important in the present industry. 21st century industry is expecting from the students. What they are expecting from the student means choosing ability, selection ability, evaluation ability. So that is what very much important. So outcome is specifying very clearly ability of the student, but objective is not specifying clearly ability of the student. Just it is specifying understanding capability of the student. But when I come to the course outcome, when I see this outcome, you see that here I am able to finding student ability. This is what the basic difference between the course objective and the course outcomes. Suppose if I write a course of outcome, then the course objective is implied. Course objective is implied. Then why should I write again the course objective? You see, Do I need to go for the course objective or course of outcome? Once if I write a course outcome, the course objective is not required. So that NPA also has suggested you need not write course objectives, just you need to define only the course outcomes. Why they suggested the course outcome is sufficient than the course objective means, you see that when I read the course outcome, I can find it is a default, which is implied, you see that, implied. Students will be able to understand the concepts of X and Y and choose suitable concept for respective domain. Okay, you understand what is the difference between, you understood what is the difference between the course objectives and the course outcomes. Then shall we write both or not? That you decide with this example. Which of the following is relevant to the course objective? Which of the following is relevant to the course objective? Feedback collected. A. B is a feedback collected and analyzed. C. Feedback collected, analyzed and developed action plan for improvement. D. None. Which is the objective? You see that? Which is the right object answer, please, for this course objective? You see that? My answer is A. Just collection is not important. Collection is not important. The objective is specifying only what I teach in the class. But I'm not going to test the student ability. With the help of the course outcome, I can test the student ability, whether he is able to do it or not. So that just collection is not important. Which of the following is more relevant to course outcome? Which of the following is more relevant to course outcome? Feedback collected and analyzed, feedback collected, analyzed and developed action plan for improvement. D is none. In this case, which is the right answer? Let us see. B. Feedback collected and analyzed. That is what? Okay. Sometimes some of the experts might be arguing, sir, why not C? That is what you decided. B and C. Suppose even if you had, this is what right one, you see that. B, C also, maybe in certain cases it is the right answer. Okay. So B and C, but C is a more appropriate. B is a appropriate only. Which of the following is more relevant to course outcome? The student should know the sorting techniques. The student should be able to implement and choose appropriate sorting technique for information given. The student should be able to implement the sorting techniques. D is none. In this 4, which is the right answer for the 4 course outcome, please? Let's just look into this. The student should know the sorting techniques. B. Student should be able to implement and choose appropriate sorting technique for information given. C. Student should be able to implement the sorting techniques. D. None. You see that in this case, which is the right answer? You see, the student is able to choose appropriate technique for the given information, for the given data, for the information given. So that is what answer is B. Answer is B. Right answer. Course outcome C. But all are, you see that when you look into this, all are more relevant. But which is the more relevant? Which is the more relevant? Which is the more specific? You see that I'm testing student ability. What ability I'm testing? Judgment ability. In which outcome I'm testing the judgment ability? In the second one, not in the first one, even not in the C also. So I want to test the student judgment ability. So such a statements we want to be framed. Answer is B. When I want to frame the course outcomes, what we need as a single person, as alone, as an expert, I cannot wait. So that what we need to do, we want to formulate course experts group. Similar type of courses you need to form as a group, and then you formulate a group. That group will take care of all the activities. What are the functions of course experts group? This committee reviews COs, CO to PO mapping, curriculum maps, course exit, survey, and suggests steps for improvement. Okay, so this is what. Members, who are the members? Course experts from various courses chaired by senior professor among them. And aspects to be reviewed or considered. What are the aspects they have to be considered and reviewed? Course outcomes, result analysis, CO attainment, curricular gaps, feedback from mentors, suggestions from faculty, suggestions from students, action plan for improvement, and corrective measures. The group is responsible for these activities. Okay. Once they finalize the minutes has to be sent to the next level. What is the next level? The course expert group is bottom level. So that next level is program assessment committee. There are various committees. Maybe you might be having different nomenclature. I'm giving my own nomenclature. This is what program assessment committee. Next level. Okay. The meeting frequency. What is the meeting frequency? Meeting frequencies, you see that meeting schedule at the commencement of the semester, during middle of the semester, at the end of the semester. Okay. At the commencement of the semester, during middle of the semester, at the end of the semester. Why do I want to conduct? Because there are 2 mid-examinations are there. I want to test the student ability. After first mid-examination, after second mid-examination, still if he is weak, there is a scope for improvement between the second mid and end examination time period is there. That time period we have to utilize for the improvement of the student. So that this is what is that. Like that, I have to conduct the meeting. Main agenda, result evaluation and suggestion, progress review, performance evaluation. So this is what, okay. And outcomes, let us look into this. This is what in the morning session also, I have shared one slide, but now I'm maybe showing in a different pattern. Institutional outcomes, program outcomes, course or unit outcomes, lesson outcomes, questions. So this is what you see that outcomes. So this is a very important question. We are moving, you see that. Okay. So moving to the broader to very narrow. Moving from the very broader to the narrow. Very narrow, you see that. The question is end. The student learning outcomes. You see that course level. Student learning outcomes are more specific and describe achievement expected in a particular course. Okay, more specific. Outcomes are expressed as a knowledge, skill, attitude. Knowledge, skill, attitude. Generally, you know that the program outcomes are representing the meaning, representing what are expressed as a knowledge, a skill, attitude. So even outcomes also either knowledge or skill or values or combination of knowledge and skill or combination of knowledge and values. That means 3 factorial combinations. 3 factorial combinations. You see that certain courses are relevant to the only knowledge level. Certain courses are relevant to the skill level. Certain courses are relevant to the attitude based also. Gender sensitization, ethical values. Such courses are there relevant to this also. So where the combination is there you need to be considered. So do I need to combine knowledge and skill or knowledge and attitude? That is what you decided. So outcomes are expressed as knowledge, skill, values. Once again, I'm repeating, when we are framing the curriculum, in the process of the curriculum, we must consider these are the 3 parameters: knowledge, skill, attitude. With respect to this, I discussed about that Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive levels, affective domain, psychomotor. Then you see that the course outcome is a statement. I've told you already, you see that all these are the statements except question. All remaining all statements. The statement is a sentence which is a true or false, but not both. There must be clarity. Try to avoid the ambiguity. A statement, why I'm specifying very clearly that is a statement. A statement is a sentence which is either true or false, but not both. It must give clarity. Okay, clarity without ambiguity. When I write a course outcome, it must give the clarity without ambiguity. In that statement, what are the key components are required? While framing the course outcome, I must keep in my mind what components are required: action verb, subject content, level of achievement. You see that these are the 3 minimum terms are required. And the level of achievement is what? Basic, proficient, advanced. What is meant by proficient? You see that extreme level. You see that real world situations, analytical skills appropriate to the subject matter. You see that? Once again, I'm repeating. The course outcome is a statement which consisting of action verb, subject content, and a level of achievement, etc. Okay, you know what is mean by level of achievement? Basic, proficient, any advanced. What is mean by proficient? demonstrated competency over challenging subject matter, including subject matter knowledge, etc. You see that. Okay. So this is what please all of us remember. Characteristics of student learning outcomes. When I'm framing the course outcomes, I must keep in my mind, what should I keep? I should not create individually based on POs and PSOs curriculum. Okay, this is what I will be share with you in tomorrow's session very clearly. Okay, now I'm giving only little basic information. In tomorrow's session, I'll give in a broader way how to formulate the COs and how to map CO to PO and how to calculate the CO attainment value and how to calculate the PO attainment value and how the PO attainment value is helping for the continuous improvement. That is what seventh criteria. All these are interlinking, but we are treating like an individual criteria. But there is a logical connection, one criteria to another criteria. That is what I'll be going to share you in tomorrow's session. How it is having the link between the criteria 2 to criteria 3, criteria 3 to criteria 4, criteria 4 to criteria 7 and 8 also. So that is what I'll be going to share with you in tomorrow's session. Okay. The based on POs and PSOs. Next, student-centric method. So outcome-based education is, that is what we discussed in the initial student-centric approach. Cognitively appropriate. When I'm framing the course outcomes, I must keep in my mind what? Cognitive skills. Cognitive skills means remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creative. And statement must be a measurable. It should be a meaningful. It should be a meaningful. It should be understandable. It must be achievable. It must be achievable. If I say I can reach sky, what are the resources I have in my environment? That is very much important. If I am climbing one statement, whether it is possible or not, whether it is possible to achieve or not, what are the resources I have? If I have the resources, then I can reach. But without resources, what can I do? Realistic, specific, action-oriented, manageable. These are the characteristics of course outcomes. So we must think when we are framing. Okay. So this is what learning outcome. I'll end with this slide in the tomorrow session. I'll continue from here only. Okay. So learning outcome is a measurable, observable, and specific statement that clearly indicates what a student should know and be able to do as a result of learning. So once again repeating, measurable, observable, and specific statement that clearly indicates what a student should know and be able to do as a result of learning. You see, well-written learning outcomes involve the following parts. You see that the LO is consisting of several components. What are the components are here? You see that parts: action work, subject content, level of achievement, condition of performance. Condition of performance, you see that. When we compare Duryodhana and Arjuna, in that case, this is the part we will be considering. Both are having the expertism in the archery, okay? But who is performing very well? That is what I think we had a little awareness about the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, when comparing between the Duryodhana and Arjuna, Arjuna is having extraordinary performance. So like you see that even you can write in COs also like that. That I'll share with you in tomorrow's session very clearly. Action work, subject content, level of achievement, condition of performance. I'll give an example. Analysis, risk management strategies for investment and insurance decisions. Analysis, risk management strategies for investment, insurance decisions. In this statement, let us assume this is as a one statement. In this statement, what are the components are reflecting? Action, analysis is action verb. Subject content, risk management. Level of achievement, investment and insurance decisions for. You see, in this statement, these three are covered, but not fourth one. Like you try to enhance it, this statement, you can strengthen this statement by adding one more part. Okay, like this, I'll be going to share with you in tomorrow's session. I'll be ending here. This is another, maybe takes minimum 40 minutes. So I'll be ending here. In tomorrow's session, I'll be continuing the same session. In the tomorrow, please once again I'm repeating, course outcome formulation, CO to PO mapping with extraordinary mathematical modeling technique and CO attainment value calculation and PO attainment value calculation, then how to define the threshold value or maybe target value for PO attainment, and that is also we will be going to discuss in tomorrow's session. So thank you very much to all of you for your patience, for your listening, and I must be thankful to the Harnath Reddy management and leadership. Okay, thank you very much for giving an opportunity. I'll continue tomorrow from here.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for presenting the whole context of outcome-based education in terms of Bloom's taxonomy skills, formulation of course outcomes, their levels, the way how the questions will be framed so and how it can be given to the students and how to give the mark for the each course outcome, so how they can be constructed and how it can be built. Everything you have shown in a better and excellent manner, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. I request all the participants to please on your videos once so that we can go for the snapshot for today's session. I believe that all of you might have submitted the online attendance sheet which we have shared at 11:30 p.m. and it will be opened till around 1 p.m. Till around 1 p.m. it will be open. I request all the participants to please on your videos. We will have a snapshot because it's a daily routine to all of us to have a 1 or 2 snapshots while the session is going on as well as at the end of the session. I request all the participants to please on your videos so that we can go for the
1 minute, Basha, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I'm very thankful to the way you are coordinating the session. I'm really very happy and really very enjoying this session. For coordinating of this session, Jabbar Basha, Raj Kamal, and associate coordinators Shanti Sri and Srinivas, Maheshwar Reddy. Thank you for your effort and regulation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
I'll continue from the same topic.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Now we can leave from the session.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir, for sparing your valuable time. Tomorrow morning, the same thing. The same link will be workshop morning at 10:30. Thank you. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.